Hey again, everyone, and welcome to the second Vidcast, which we've decided we're just going to call Name in Progress, with me, Georgie, from Beards and Board Games, and...
Baker
actually...
from Board Online, Board Offline.
Or White Walker from the North, right? Or
Beyond the Wall.
These guys
don't really talk as far as we know, do they?
No, not yet, I don't think.
Guys, I could just make like a screeching noise the entire time. All right, this show's already off the rails. Sorry.
Oh God! Put the White Walker.
It's real nice. I wish I could get him to like. I wonder if I could get him to perch on my shoulder the entire time. That'd be pretty cool.
He's not a parrot.
No.
So, I'm Baker from Board Online, Board Offline. I can't remember if you actually... Yeah, you did say that. So, today we're just going to have our usual banter, back and forth of what we've been playing recently, what we've been liking, maybe something that we've taken interest to, maybe something that we've taken a dislike to. And we maybe have we might have a couple of questions as well, hopefully, but we'll see how that goes. So, Baker, do you want to take us off with what you've been playing recently?
Yeah. Let's see. It's been a relatively slow month, but I've actually finally got a good campaign going of, I have a campaign already going of Imperial Assault with Asdrubal, but we're doing that by Skype, so it's a huge pain in the butt. And I finally found a group to do a campaign with, so I got a couple of plays of that in, and I'll be doing a couple more in about a week. So excited about that.
Awesome.
I played a good bit of Thunderstone.
Sorry, just on Imperial Assault, what side are you playing on?
Oh, actually, that's the other part I'm excited about. I am excited. Listen, it's 5:15, what is it, 30 in the morning here? I am excited about it as well because I'm the Rebels. And normally in 1 versus mini games, I have to be the bad guy because I'm the one that knows the rules. But in this other group, found a guy that actually knows the rules just as well. So he's going to be the Imperials, and he prefers to be the bad guys. So yeah, I get to be the Rebels. I'm playing as Gideon Argus, I think is his last name. He's like the commander. Whoa. Vibrate. There we go. He's the commander where he starts with like a pistol or whatever. So yeah, we've gotten our butt kicked. Well, actually, we didn't get our butt kicked the second time. The first time, Imperial player destroyed us. Second time, not so much. I did get a play of Sheriff of Nottingham in, too, which I've only gotten one play, and I think I need to try it some more. We talked about that on the top 10, or top 10 plus 1.
I get it right.
So. Gotta get a fan going in here. It's a little warm. What are you playing?
I've played the new one that I've bought. It's not new out, but it's new to me. Was Lord of the Rings: The Confrontation Fantasy Flight game.
Wait, now is that the old one? Like, or is that the one where it's kind of like Stratego?
Stratego.
Which one is that?
Stratego. Okay. Yeah. So you can't see the pawns of the other player. I'm just going to call them pawns, but they're wall tiles, as they're called.
Right.
So you can't actually see them, and they are. You sort of decide. You always have to move forward unless your tiles can say otherwise. So when you move your character forward, and then if you land in a square with another troop or a couple of troops, you flip over and see who. Then you play a card, and I don't know. It's kind of like it's pretty fun. I've only played it a couple of times, but I got to be honest, I'm probably going to play it a few times more. When I got it, I was like, I'm probably not going to like this game, but it was going on the cheap, sort of on the thrift, so I grabbed it, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. Pretty glad that I picked it up. So, what else have I been playing?
Yeah, I'm trying to bring up a picture for so I can kind of show everybody what you're talking about, because yeah, that one actually looks pretty interesting. Oh wait, and of course my phone's not loading. Here we go. So yeah, you can kind of see you got your guys here, and the other ones you have no idea what they are. So part of the strategy, right, is like trying to make your guys act like one thing or another to get different, I don't know, You explain it, but
yeah, I mean you can do that, or like I kind of see it more of like an abstract memory game. So like
okay.
you're moving the pieces around, and once you maybe lose, or I mean generally, well, obviously when you lose against one of the pieces and they flip themselves back up, they can move themselves around again and sort of go into tiles with other players and then shuffle themselves about. But it's kind of trying to remember like he came from there, now where would he be trying to go given his power and stuff like that, and remembering sort of because they've all got their own sort of special ability,
Okay.
and they do work quite well as well. So it's very interesting. I really liked it. So that I'm trying to think. I have played quite a few other things. Star Realms we played again because we love playing.
That's
Star
always
Realms.
a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Legendary, we hit that up when I was around with my friends for a game night. Oh, what else did we play when we were around there again? I can't remember. That one's gone out of my head. Nothing really. I haven't really played anything spectacular, I would say. I haven't really picked up anything superbly new. I have got a couple of games on the way. I've got the old Eric Lang game, Trains and Stations.
I don't have any games involving trains, and I don't know what it is. Every time I hear like just the idea of a game about trains just turns me off completely to the game. But and I don't understand it, and obviously I'm missing out on a lot of good stuff because they're really popular.
Yeah.
So I gotta give something like at least Ticket to Ride a try at some point. But so
Yeah,
Trains and State Eric Lang did it. Trains and Stations.
Trains and Stations. Yeah, it's a sort of
So how's that one
dice.
work?
It's like a dice game. You roll the dice. You roll like 5 dice, and then you can decide if you like how many you want to re-roll, if any, and then you sort of place them around on the map, and you're sort of trying to build routes. Seems really interesting.
Does it have kind of like a dice worker placement feel to it?
Kind of, I guess. I'm not really sure of the 100% or 100% what the dice are for. Like I've seen like they've got like track symbols, and if you roll like three train symbols that have a lock symbol on them as well, then that means you're out and you can't re-roll anything else. That's it, game over. Not game over for you, but like round over. And I know it's like a game
Right.
based on points, but if other people like complete a route that like you've got in your hand hidden, you can then be like, "Ha, thanks for completing my route," and then you score those points too. So seems pretty interesting. Looking forward to it. It's not rated too highly on the Geek, but
Yeah, well, I mean, again, if Eric Lang did it, you ever listen to the podcast Rolling Dice and Taking Names?
yeah, that's the one with
Marty Cannell and
yeah,
the other
that's the
guy.
one. Yeah, Marty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Marty and the other guy. Oh, I feel bad because I can't remember the other guy's name, and he's just as much a part of the show. In fact, I think he started the show. But they had Eric Lang on the most recent episode, so you should check it out if you haven't listened to it yet. And when they first bring him on, they list off all the games that he's designed, and it's a list that's like 20 games long. And they're like, if you like any of those games, you're gonna like our guest. So anyway, so what else have you played?
I think that's. Oh no, that's not about it actually. What else have I played? I played. It was actually an old Kickstarter one, the Battle of Durac. Oh, can you hear that?
What was that?
That is my cat, my Siamese cat.
That's a cat.
That is a cat.
Oh.
I'll open the door.
You sure you don't have a homeless person locked in your closet?
I hope not.
Oh, that is a cat.
Or if you could call it a cat, yeah. She's like a little person.
Resembles a cat.
So,
So
yeah.
Battle of Gerard?
Durac. Durac's like an old Russian. Durac, yeah. Durak. Durac's like an old Russian game. Battle of Durac's a game that was done by Fedor Sosnin. He's the guy that designed. Yeah, he designed that and he put it on Kickstarter and it funded. So I did a review of it like way back in the day when he first did. Well, when I say way back in the day, I mean like 9 months ago or something. But that was when he first put out a Kickstarter. I think that was when he like first put out a Kickstarter, and it didn't fund. But then he released another one, and it did fund. So now that's out. We're playing that. It's a really, really fun game. It's like card drafting, not card drafting, sorry, card battling. So like you play with like each card is like a number and like a suit on it, and you sort of, I know it's really hard to explain without having the deck in front of me. So yeah, Battle of Iraq. Look it up. It's on Board Game Geek. If anyone wants to check it out. So, what about you? You been playing anything else, Baker?
I was just thinking about it. I've been playing a good bit of solo Thunderstone actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's got a solo. Are you familiar with Thunderstone at all?
I have not played it. I've watched a couple of playthroughs, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so, well, if you get the Thunderstone Advance has two sides of the board, and one's more difficult than the other. And you can use those in solo or cooperative play, but basically, and then the solo play has the standard way to play and then a difficult way to play. And so I've been playing that, and I beat the easy side of the board on the standard difficulty. And then I played the hard difficulty probably 10, 15 times on the easy side of the board before I finally beat it. So now I'm going to have to go to the other side of the board and try it out pretty soon. But so that's one that I feel like I need to collect more of it because it's going out of print. Everything's getting expensive. But there's just so many things. I have two of the base sets, Worlds Collide and Numenera. But the third base set, Towers of Ruin, is now about $200 on Amazon because it's.
Is it completely out of print then, or?
Yeah, they're not. They've said they don't have any plans to continue supporting it. It's from AEG, but I mean, there's tons of expansions out. They've got plenty out to where, if I could get my hands on it, then I wouldn't really ever need anything else. Yeah. And eventually, they'll bring it back because when Thunderstone went out of print, they eventually came back out with Thunderstone Advance.
Which means 10, 15 years time, maybe less, the game will be coming back out.
Exactly.
Right? So.
Exactly. So, yeah. So we'll see. That one has became very quickly one of my favorite games. It's definitely in my top 5 probably.
Awesome. I've just been, anything else I've been playing is just the standard sort of small 2 players that me and the wife play. Played some Tides of Time, some Jaipur.
I'm really looking forward to grabbing Tides of Time. I'm going to be doing that soon, I hope. Because after seeing your review of it, and then actually I watched a couple other reviews prior to watching yours, and I watched yours, and that kind of put me over the edge for it. So I think
it's awesome, man. For how small it is, and it's portable. The cards are really nice. The artwork's really nice. And to be fair, now that I'm lucky I did this after the review, but I spilled an entire. Well, I didn't, but one of my friends did. I don't know if you've ever seen that before, Baker.
What in the world is that?
That is it's upside down. That probably doesn't help. That is Iron Brew.
Iron Scottish Brew.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Scottish drink, and that we spilled an entire can of that all over the deck. The stuff's horrendous, like really horrendous. You can pretty much feel your teeth disintegrating as you're drinking it. That's how much sort of sugar's in it, or you feel like that anyway. But it's also a perfect hangover cure. So,
right. Well, that's important, especially in Scotland.
Oh yeah, exactly. So yeah, we spilled an entire can of that all over it. I picked it all up. I laid it on top of my PlayStation 4 when it was on. Like on the back bit, and just tried to dry it all out, and all the cards are pretty much perfectly fine. So I'm totally shocked.
I'm a real big fan of the idea that somebody spills that stuff on your $20 game, and so your solution is to dry it off on the back of a $400 gaming system.
Yes, exactly. It's way more important to me. But
I get it. I get it.
$20. No, I got that for like $7, I believe.
7.
Well, £7. So what's that like?
So what? Okay, yeah. So $20.
You and your this comes up like every chat that we ever have. By the way, this comes up. Baker and his
maybe
currency
it's gonna be like our recurring joke. It's gonna be our running joke, or more specifically, my running joke, I guess, because I'm the one that does it.
Yeah, exactly. I might just refuse to talk about prices, or I might just talk about. There was a joke. I'll have to send you the link, Baker. But man, there was a joke. I'll explain it to you. It's hilarious. But no, I think that's pretty much all I've been playing recently. You been playing anything else, or you?
I think that's pretty much it for me, for the most part.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I've been looking around for things to be like interested in, like games to purchase recently to review, and yeah, I mean obviously things that aren't on Kickstarter and aren't going to come out for ages because there's quite a lot on there just now that's that's building up a lot of hype and things, but just now I find it really hard. And a few of the things that I did find, as soon as I was like, right, okay, let's go purchase them, they were out of stock. So how many copies are like? It's been a bit frustrating recently. So I was the Codenames. The Grizzled is still out of stock in my local stores. Codenames is still out of stock in my local stores.
Grizzled, I really want to get my hands on that.
Yeah,
that one.
man. So want to get my hands on it, but it's just I don't know why there. I don't. Is there a lot of copies? Not a lot of copies going around or something, but it seems to be out of stock pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think Cool Mini or not anticipated how big it was gonna blow up, and like that happens a lot because board games are different than video games. It takes a lot more to get them printed, and so you can't print a whole bunch in hopes that they're just gonna sell, and that's kind of out of Cool Mini or not's normal wheelhouse. So I don't think they really knew what it was gonna do.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's just like these games that that's two games that I've been really, really looking forward to getting, and when I went to get them, they weren't there.
Yeah,
frustrating. So hopefully soon, in a week or two, then I'll have them. What's the other game that I was looking at that? Actually, I think I might have got it. Is it on the way? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did get it. The New Haven. You heard of that one?
New Haven.
Yeah. Tile
what's that?
Game where you're trying to. It's like you pick a tile out of this random big pile and you lay it down, and it's got like either pictures of sheep or stone or wheat or anything like that. And you try and connect it to another tile, and if one of the colors products on your tile connects to that one, and you can count all that as your set for that turn, add them all up, and then buy sort of buildings, and yeah, looks pretty awesome.
So it sounds like it's a pretty straight like Euro style game. Here we go, New Haven. Oh wait, I think I have. Why I'm gonna have to. I think I've watched the cover looks familiar. So hold on, I'm pulling up some pictures so I can get an idea of what it looks like. Oh no, I don't think I have seen this one. Huh. All right. So you're like a farmer?
Yeah, pretty much classic. Been done a million times. I can't even remember what it says in the box, but it's something like grow your. Yeah, I can't even remember, but it's like basically like the most stereotypical thing you could have said in the front of a Euro farming game ever. But yeah. Looks pretty,
well, I mean, there's lots of themes that have been done a lot. That doesn't mean they can't be done better. So
yeah, plus me and my wife are a huge fan of tile laying games, so why not?
Okay,
let's get another couple.
I actually don't have any tile laying games. I need to get one.
Yeah, you do need to get one. Carcassonne.
What would you say is the best tile laying game? What's your favorite?
Wait, you do have a tile laying game. It doesn't really. Well, I guess it doesn't class as a full tile laying game, but do you not have one of the D&D board games?
Oh well, yeah, but that's
like draw a tile style. Draw a tile style.
Yeah, I mean, all it is when your guy gets to the edge of the board, you just take the next one off the stack and put it down. And yeah, it's not like there's no strategy to it as far as laying the tiles. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I guess.
Carcassonne obviously being the grandfather of them all.
Yeah, trying to get points.
That type of stuff.
Yeah. To be honest, yeah, Carcassonne is probably the best one.
Really?
Yeah.
Any specific version of Carcassonne you like best?
Original. The rules,
Original?
yeah, the point scoring can be a bit fiddly, but I don't know. I like it. Plus, I like the way the cover looks. I don't really like the look of the new cover. I don't know why. But
well, Astroval's a big fan of this new Star Wars Carcassonne coming out.
Why? No.
I saw you took some heat for making fun of Star Wars Risk, by the way.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, it seems to be ongoing as well. So
yeah.
No, I'm. Everyone.
Have you at least watched any reviews of it?
Yes, I have.
Okay. All right.
I get it, but it doesn't look. To me, it doesn't look amazingly awesome like the Queen's Gambit does.
Yeah, no, I agree. It doesn't look amazingly awesome. The only thing that interested me about it was that. I guess you know what the thing is. I'm gauging it because it's not getting blasted like the majority of the Force Friday games are. But that's like saying, "Oh, look, this is the least crappy of crap." So, so I guess.
Watch what you're saying. Watch what you're saying.
I'm not. I know. I'm just saying that you can't judge it by the fact that it's doing well compared to the other Force Friday stuff. That's not a good way to compare it. So I don't know. I've got it on my. I think I got it on my wish list as just like to have. So that's kind of the third rank down.
Yeah, it's kind of like I would probably rather get Star Wars Quirkle.
Quirkle. That's another game I've never. My kid wants to get Quirkle. Probably should get it just so I could play with her.
It's fun.
But I think she just likes the name though. She has no idea what the game's about. She just likes the name Quirkle.
So do I.
Yeah.
It makes me want to play Quirkle.
You know what it reminds me of? Did you ever play that video game Qbert back in the day?
Oh, the little jumping yellow thing with the nose.
Yeah, the little orange guy. And I had no idea how to play that game because I was like 6 years old and I would just jump around and then die.
You're like, hey, this is fun.
But anyway, the name Quirkle reminds me of Qbert. Even though the games have nothing to do with each other.
There's that game as well called Cubo, I think it is. Is it the one that I saw Dan King did a review like last week of it or something? Cubo.
Who reviewed it?
Dan King. Game Boy.
Man, I've been so busy at work. I've had a hard time just keeping up with the Dice Tower reviews, and now that Dan King's off on his own completely, it's hard for me to.
Yeah, it gets pretty much impossible to keep up with everyone. You've just got to keep up when you can and like their videos. I guess if you you still.
Hey, there's a topic. How do you keep up with do you have like a priority as far as who you watch on YouTube and then like where you go after you finish all their videos, or how do you keep up with that stuff, or is it completely random for you?
No, I guess I put it in priority. I guess so on a Thursday if it's out, I'll watch the Blender.
Right.
Well, I guess it's like Thursday night for me by the time it comes out. So if that's out, I'll watch that sort of first because. I love watching all you guys, and I love hearing sort of everyone. Regardless of what the subject is, I pretty much love watching it. Mondays I watch Breakfast. I'll always watch. I'll try, depending on when he does it, I'll try and watch like the live Q&As that they all do. Try and just get involved a bit in there, just to ask some questions, see what they all think. I always like to try and catch Nick's from Board Game Brawl's live Q&As.
Mm-hmm.
He always books them pretty long in advance as well, so I can always kind of try and fit that into the schedule somehow.
Right.
I think that's. I mean, everything else. If there's like individual board games that I see like that are reviewed, I'll pretty much watch the first minute or two of every one of them, and if I am disinterested, then blah, it's off, and I'm on the next one. So I won't spend more than half an hour, 20 minutes, sometimes less, depending on how many are there a day. Just just watching the start of each one and then just flicking off. Plus, as you know, like the thing about reviews is if you're interested in a game, you won't just watch one review, you'll watch everyone's review. So if I see games that I've already seen reviewed before that I'm not interested in, I'm not really going to watch them either. So I can just skip them over that.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'll do watch it played. Anytime a new video comes up for there, it goes to the top of my priority list. Just because he doesn't release a ton, he releases maybe 2 or 3 at the most a week, so I can knock those out pretty quickly. So that goes to the top of the priority list. And generally, whenever you release something, I check that out at the top as well.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. I'm trying to think if there's. I think those 2. That's usually the main thing. And then Dice Tower. It used to be whenever I was driving around all day for work, I would put a video on, and obviously I'm not watching it while I'm driving, but I would put it, face down and listen to it while I'm driving around. Because you don't really need to see. They do a pretty good job describing what they're talking about. So I used to watch everything Dice Tower put out because I'm driving around all day. I got killing time. But now that I'm not doing that anymore, I go through and see the games that look interesting, or either that I know are interesting because I've heard about them, or that look like they might be, and I'll watch those. And anytime Miami Dice on the Dice Tower comes out with something, I always watch the Miami Dice videos because they pretty much everything they review is something that I might be interested in. So
yeah, I would agree when they all get together.
Generally stay away from the live Q&As now just because I don't have time anymore to watch them. But yeah, so that's usually watch it play gets top priority, and then a couple others. And if I somehow manage to catch up on everything, then I'll start clicking through the other channels, because I'm subscribed to about 20 different channels, but I only really ever get to watch about 3 of them. So.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same sometimes. There's so much content comes out in the Dice Tower as well. It's really hard to keep up with it all. Not that that's a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. But now that he's got Sam and Z working for him, it's just like a constant barrage.
Yeah, but I mean, it's great because there's so much choice, and they're all good guys.
Constant barrage. Is that right? Is that
barrage?
No, barrage.
Barrage.
Oh, you said like me. Wait a minute. I thought. Never mind. Sorry. I'm being insensitive. I should not try to use other people's accents. I apologize.
Yeah, especially when you've got one like that.
Right. Exactly. Here I am from southern United States, and I'm trying to copy somebody else's accent.
Yeah, I guess it's all right. I get used to it. We're tiny on the map compared to the United States, I guess. Old Scotland.
Well, actually, quick, my own personal interest over there, like within Scotland, do y'all have, or how varied are the accents within Scotland itself? Like to where you could tell where somebody's from in Scotland?
Yes, very, very varied. If somebody's from Glasgow, straight away, or that sort of area, the Glasgow area. From Edinburgh, I stay when I was brought up, I stay like 6 miles from there now, but I was brought up in a coastal town called Lossiemouth in Scotland, and about 12 miles away from that, they sounded totally different to how we sounded. Yeah. And literally, you would go there and you'd be, what? Both of them would be struggling, both speaking so fast and struggling to understand each other. We refer to it as Tuchter or Dorich.
To what? As what?
It would be, technically it's Dorich.
Okay, it's just like the name of the accent type thing, or the dialect?
Yeah, the accent dialect, yeah. So... That's
pretty cool.
There's quite a lot of accents going around, and then obviously, like in Scotland and England being the same island, when you cross the border, it's totally different. And then the further south you go, it changes pretty much every city. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, obviously I knew just from Scotland to England there'd be a distinct difference, but that's pretty interesting because over here it's very regionalized for the most part. I mean, technically you can hear some difference from like Georgia to Tennessee or something, but not real strong. The only place I can think of where it's localized in a city is Boston, which they have their very own distinct Boston dialect. And other than that,
Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah, Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah. I'm clued up. I know what I'm talking about here.
So that's pretty interesting to me that from city to city, like every city has its own dialect over there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, every major city anyway. Certainly, there's
right. Yeah.
But it's you can still understand them. Some of them you just need to concentrate a bit more. So, and to be honest, pretty much any Scottish person, once he's had a few whiskies, that's it. His accent is in full swing, and it's really hard to tame it down after that. So
after I've had a few, because I really, compared to most people around here, I don't have a real Southern accent, even though I've got a little bit of one. But if I have a few beers or something, they'll start coming out.
Yeah,
pretty good. So. Yeah.
We might need to experiment one night, Baker, but we'll leave that for now.
Yeah, we should. You know what? We should do a hangout when the two of us start drinking. I won't be able to keep up with you drink to drink because I've been slacking lately on my tolerance levels. But there was a day when I probably could have kept up with you.
Never.
Not to mention I'm an old man now, so.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. What are you, like 51, 52?
52. I'm
right,
52.
Yeah. That's all right.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
So actually, we have a couple of questions from a viewer that watched last time, and I'm just going to bring them up just now because I am so switched on. I had them ready clearly. So the first one he asked was, it'd be interesting to see what the differences are in the hobby on either side of the pond. So he's from London. I should mention his name as well is Richie. He's on Twitter and is at BoardGameBrit. So he has asked, he's basically said that he's from London, which is the capital city of the United Kingdom, and he struggles to find decent game stores. Or not saying that the ones that he finds aren't great, but he's got, like small, tiny local game stores, not much game groups, and the game groups that he does play in like sort of small bars and like really, really like cliquey areas. So which isn't really the best areas for game groups.
Sure, yeah.
And he was just wondering sort of, I guess, how it was up for me in Scotland. But I think start off, let's find out how it is for you first, Baker.
Well, I guess like in my area, I got to drive probably 45 minutes or so to find an actual game store. And just recently we have a store that opened up, but it's really more designed as a play area. Like you come in, you pay like a monthly fee or whatever, and you get access to the store to have for your game groups and stuff like that. And so that's kind of cool. And he does sell a few games there, but for a real game store, I got to drive about 45 minutes to Savannah, Georgia, which is, the closest city. And it's a pretty small city, actually. But yeah, if I found that interesting that in London, he has a hard time finding a real good game store, considering the size of that city. Because around here, if you had, like I said, Savannah is a pretty small city, especially compared to something like London. And any city the size of Savannah or larger, we're going to have probably at least one place for you to go find some good games. And from what I've seen, it's been fairly easy if I had to use meetup.com. I don't know how well that works over there, but I had to use that to find a game group around here. But once I went on there, it was real easy to find one real fast. I'd say probably the main difference is just having access to certain games easier in terms of purchasing and like shipping and stuff like that. Because I know, a lot of the what was it like? I'll use Dead of Winter as the example because I really followed that one really heavily, waiting for it to come out and everything. And there were all kinds of problems with it making it to Europe, which was interesting because it wasn't even like when with the company that was building it. I think Panda is the name of the company they used to manufacture it, is in China, but they had to send it here first, and then from here to Europe, I think is how it ended up going. So
that seems really pointless, but I remember watching Edo. Do you know Edo Baraf? I don't. Is it Baraf? Did Liftoff and Gem Pack on Kickstarter. He's a game designer, but he said to me that when the shipment happens from China, generally will always go from China to them, and then from them to all of everyone else. So
exactly,
a lot of the time, even if there's backers in Asia, if it's like shipping worldwide, like a small card game, it leaves them and then comes back again. So
yeah, exactly, yeah. And so I know that, yeah, a lot of companies are trying to figure out ways. And I think some of them have done so successfully to where they can have whatever company they're using in China, which seems to be the hot place to manufacture games, to have them ship it to some sort of distributor in Europe. That way it cuts down on the cost and everything.
Yeah, I've seen that happening. Like there seems to be quite a lot going on just now with them. It's just like popular sort of favorited board games going on in like big distribution sites that you would really expect to see in the past, I guess. But I guess it's better because it makes everything more convenient to pick up and easier to get a hold of, particularly for me. Because and I know actually there's a lot of games companies that will request a small batch of the games, that even if they've ordered a big batch, a small batch of them to be delivered like to like hotel rooms and stuff in Essen.
Oh wow!
So like like a week before they'll go there and just kind of hang around and wait for their games to arrive. And I think the shipping is a lot quicker when it goes there. I don't know, maybe I'm sure that's what I heard anyway. So if somebody has ever done that or not done that, let us know.
yeah. But yeah, so I guess on my side, the easiest thing is that it seems like a lot of stuff becomes available here, if not faster, then definitely cheaper when you take shipping into account. So what would you say as far as your side of it goes?
I would agree. Things definitely appear faster at your end than they do at my end. Gen Con releases for one, like when it's released in Gen Con, like I'm always going to do my top 10 Gen Con releases sort of every year from now on, but it's Essen is, I guess, really where they're going to be released for me. But at Essen, again, I always find at Gen Con there's a lot of games that get released, but at Essen there's 700 games getting released this year.
It's this year's crazy how many games are getting released at Essen.
Yeah, and it's all sort of like major, well, not all, of course not all, but like a lot of major heavy Euro style games getting released, and a lot of them look really interesting. So I don't know. I guess actually there's a question. The Euro style games that come out at Essen, how quickly do you guys get them, if at all?
I was, as far as I know, the ones that are really where they're pretty sure these are going to be big hits. They come out over here pretty quickly.
Yeah.
From what I've seen though, if there's one that maybe they're just not sure, or the company doesn't have the maybe the funding to do a simultaneous release there and here, then they'll wait, see how it does over there. Mm-hmm. And if it's doing pretty well and there's a lot of buzz over here, then it gets brought over. the best example probably is, and this isn't a Euro, this doesn't have a Euro, but with um, Mysterium, which was obviously a Polish release,
Yeah.
and it was released for a long. It was out over there in Europe for, I gotta say, at least 6 months or so before they finally got it translated and brought over here. And I don't know what, if that was a financial decision or if that was just a, well, we're not sure how this game's going to do decision or what it was. But that was one that people were just dying to get a hold of over here. I mean, people who don't speak or read Polish were buying the Polish version of the game and then trying to get through the rules, that are all in Polish.
Yeah.
So, that's probably the best example recently of a game coming out over there that, took a while to finally make it over here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of comforting, that it happens on both ends then.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
But for me, so it's, as far as game releases and stuff goes, yeah, that's kind of how it is. In regards to game groups, Meetup, you mentioned meetup.com. There is zero in my area or close to me on meetup.com, really, yeah. But I guess it's because we're quite thinly spread up here, up in the north. So I don't know why I did a slightly Irish accent there, but we're slightly spread up here as far as people goes. I mean, in this city that I'm in, there's like 13,000 people. My local town, there was like 6,000 people, maybe 5,000 people even. And then there's loads of like just little tiny villages and towns around, just in the middle of fields and farms and little farming towns and things like that. But
yeah,
I guess just friends are the only game groups that we have, unfortunately. I am currently trying to start one with no success, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go old school when I actually find the time to do it and just start put flyers up all over the place. Like go to the comic stores and put flyers up, and go to the library and put flyers up, and do that to try and get a different game group started. Because currently I only have one every 2 to 3 to maybe 4 weeks, depending on if we're away on holiday or whatever. At the in Forest, I don't even know why I'm telling you the name, but a tiny town village, like about 50 minutes away, and there is a game group that happens about 45 minutes away, but that's one Sunday every month. I haven't even went to that yet, but that's at like a cafe, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be like one of these things where like, yay, come and join our gaming group and buy and have supper here and buy drinks here and pay all this money in the expensive cafe and restaurant thing. And I just don't really know how gaming.
No, I just want to go and play a game. I don't want to spend more money.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like,
all that money I'm spending could be spent on another board game.
That's exactly my point. I would rather spend money on another game than eating out. But
yeah,
what can we do? We'll see what happens there. So not so much for me in the regards to gaming groups. As far as accessibility to board games, I've got the internet, so I'm probably about the same as London. But shops, there's one 45 minutes away. It's pretty expensive. It's not that expensive, but it's pretty pricey. I guess it's the old brick and mortar law. So, well, not a law, but rule. So, like, anything you buy from an actual shop or retailer is going to be more expensive because you've got to pay for the brick and mortar, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's definitely true. It's hard to feel good about spending $60 on a game that you can find for $20 cheaper online with free shipping, But
I mean, he also oh, sorry, on you go.
No, I was just gonna say that for me, if I found a store where I felt like I was getting really good service there, because we had a local game store here for a while, but the guy that ran it, it was obvious he created it in order to basically have a place to play his games. You know what I mean? And if you're gonna start a store, you got to treat it as a business, not as a place to hang out.
Yeah.
Which totally. So
I've seen a few comic book shops close because of that, where instead of like interacting with your customers, being like, "Yo, what are you into? What are you after? What are you in for?" Like wondering why people just keep coming in and leaving without buying anything.
Yeah.
You don't ask them anything.
They're being bothered.
Yeah, exactly. But and then all you see is like three older guys standing behind the counter, opening up Magic the Gathering packs or
Yeah.
something like that. And just be like,
I'm
hey.
glad to see this trend is not something that just happens over here. Yeah,
Yeah, it happens
that
here, man.
sounds.
It's stressful. And we do have there's actually a new comic book store. I think I mentioned it the last time. In my area, but it's not looking great. Apparently, it gets comics this month. Other than that, he's just had a wall full of pop vinyls, as far as I've seen. No board games, apart from the usual Pokemon cards, style trading card stuff that you see in pretty much every comic book shop. Magic the Gathering. Uh, it just, yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that he might. But again, I go in there and he goes, "Hi," and then like I'm the only person in there, for God's sake. Like the only person in there. Like, come
Yeah.
on, speak to me. Ask me. Like, I walk in, I'm looking at the shelves, be like, "Oh, are you looking for anything in particular?" I was out. To be honest, I was, but he didn't ask me, so I didn't say to him. I looked around and said, "Well, your shop's small enough. I know you don't have it, and you're clearly not interested in what I'm after." But I was looking for DC Dice Master stuff, which I'm sure he could get his hands on. But I'm not going to buy it
Sure.
from him because he's not asking me. I might go in again and
Yeah.
just test him. I'll just hover around for a while and be like,
It's
see
like
if he doesn't ask me anything.
they don't recognize that it's like so they don't recognize that when a person walks through the door, this represents a possible cash transaction that could occur here. You should probably try to see if you can help me out.
Yeah, and the worst of it was is he didn't even have friends, and he wasn't opening up Magic Gathering packs. He was standing there by himself with a cardboard box. Obviously, it was way more interesting to stare with what appeared to be an empty cardboard box and actually interact with your customers. I get if you've got social anxiety, that can be rough. Like, I've suffered from some social anxiety back in the past, but come on, like, if you're opening up a shop, surely you're
Yeah,
going to be past that a little bit, or
you need to. Yeah, otherwise the shop's gonna be closing down pretty soon.
yeah, and you're in your own comfort zone as well. So I don't know what that says. If you're failing to do it in your own comfort zone, there's issues.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that was that part of the question. There was like another part of the question. I decided to separate it two ways. So has watching YouTube made the grass look greener on the other side, as in the US where you're from? And does it just seem like there's more hype and accessibility for the hobby over there when in fact there isn't any? It's just, it just seems like there is because because of the mass population over there, there's way more YouTubers over there, so there's way more people going to Gen Con and all these things, and all we really have is the UK Games Expo, which isn't just board games. It's not really. It's expensive and it's as far as I'm aware, I've never been, but apparently it's not worth it. So,
Well, now obviously Essen is in Germany. Is that a huge pain for you to get to? I mean, it's an enormous pain, like cost prohibitive for most people over here to get to. But I don't know what the travel cost would be for you going from the UK to Germany. Is that something that?
I think it would definitely be possible. It would just be trying to arrange it. I think it would still be pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Could maybe be like with probably like accommodation, Essen tickets, travel, £1,000.
Okay.
Maybe. So
that's about what our plane tickets would be, probably.
Yeah, I was going to say you would be £1,500, probably, maybe more. So
something like that. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, as well, is when you're on holiday. I mean, I know it's not holiday. Excuse the cats are fighting in the background. Stop fighting. So stressful. Just chill. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, so when you're on holiday and things, you're not going to be bringing like packets of micro noodles and stuff to survive on the cheap, are you? You're going to be like, eating out and stuff, and that's even more expensive. So
yeah,
everything adds up, man. I guess so.
That's for sure. Yeah, you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
I guess as far as accessibility goes, I do sometimes feel like it's easier for me over here, but I also though am more interested in games that are commonly associated with the American style of board games. The Mansions of Madness and the Thunderstone and Wrath of a Charlatan. Those are the type of games that interest me for the most part. So I don't find myself waiting for a game to come over here from Europe very often.
Yeah.
But I think that might be different if I was more into the heavy Euros. So yeah, so I don't know. So for me, I wouldn't say, I definitely am happy to be on this side of the ocean where those games become available very quickly. What about for you over there?
I guess I'm happy to be where I am in like the grand scheme of things, but for games, for conventions, things like that, I could be in a much better location. There isn't much going on here at all, really, for that. So
Yeah,
it's just a case of trying to get on with it as best I can and play as much games, and hopefully my friends will keep putting up with me forcing games every time we come and play. And yeah, it's about it. Hopefully the wife will keep really put up, hopefully the wife will put up with me, keep forcing her to play 2-player games all the time. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and ultimately, regardless of what games you want to play, they're going to become available eventually to you somehow if you really want it.
Yeah,
So,
you can get. I mean, I can get them. It just costs me like £30 or £20 postage, which it just doesn't make the game seem worth it in my eyes.
Especially when it's only like a $40 game and you're paying additional $20 on top of it. That's or pound or whatever.
Yeah, it's like you're paying an extra half again, so it's not worth it.
Yeah,
I'd rather wait, and I mean, there's always eBay and all these other things that you can try and catch stuff on as well. Sometimes you'll catch stuff with cheap postage there, but you've just got to try and keep your eye out, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's about it for questions that I had at my side. Did you have any questions at your side, Baker, or?
No. People only talk to you. They don't talk to me.
No, harsh. I believe you were talking to somebody about a game on Board Game Geek. Were you not?
Oh.
Through.
Oh, you're talking about when we posted the our top 11 the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mirnis. Hold on. I still haven't been able to really research that game yet, even though the cover looks really cool.
Yeah, man.
Let me pull that back
people
up.
Only talk to me, though. I think the only reason people have been talking to me is because I slated Star Wars Risk. I noticed you've been just putting your chib in every so often as well, Baker, but just been saying, hey, yay, haha. Basically just saying
I felt a tad vindicated, that's all. I just, What was this game he was telling me? Why isn't it showing? Oh, no. Why isn't it showing up? Hold on. I put it on my wish list to... Here it is. Oh, Myrmes? I don't know. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Myrmes. Looks like it's published by Asmodee. Some sort of... Hold on. All right. I'm bringing up some pictures here. Let's see what we got. It's very colorful, that's for sure. Looks like there's mushrooms involved. Like in the game, not as recreational.
Well, I was hoping that's what you were going to say, yeah.
Yes, no, in the game. I mean, it does look at that's very colorful. That's a top-down view right there of the board.
Yeah. It looks quite abstract-y and hexy, but interesting still.
I think you must be... That looks like doesn't that look like an ant colony or something? Like an underground...
Yeah, it's definitely, it's to do with ants, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta look up some videos on this one, because for those that don't know what we're talking about, we did our top 10 plus 1 games that we don't have but really want, and Asdrubal, the retro board gamer, joined us for that. And so when we posted on Board Game Geek, a guy, mentioned that was his favorite game, or that he doesn't have and probably never will have for whatever reason, but he loves the game. So that's one I got to do some more research on, because actually, it looks cool. I just have no idea what it's about. So.
Yeah, certainly seems cool. In fact, I was going to mention about the top 11 because I don't know if you managed to catch the end, but thanks again, Baker, for taking part and coming up with the list. I don't know if you managed.
I know I had to run early, but yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I had a real fun time doing that, and I'm sure we'll definitely need to do another one maybe before Christmas time.
Yeah, you or Azrael needs to come up with the next topic, and I absolutely want to do some more of those. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually thinking. I'm not gonna go on. I guess we are on record because this is live, but I'm not gonna go fully on record saying this. But potentially, top 10 games that you want to play at Christmas time with your family, and maybe not like a heavy game night. Just play with your family. It's Christmas time, people around, things like that.
Yeah, that's something we could do for sure.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Everybody likes games that fit the whatever time period you're in too. So that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was thinking. I just thought it would be, it doesn't even need to be wintry or Santa or Christmassy type of games, but just I don't know. I'm not going to give any examples to give anything away, but just small games that are easy to get people into and are fun to play. I don't know.
Twilight Imperium 3.
Good call. That was going to be my number 10, maybe 9.
I ruined your list. I'm sorry.
So, yeah, it's really, really. I really, really enjoyed it. I hope to do it a couple more times. Definitely, I could say a couple more times. I'm not limiting ourselves here, but definitely hope to do it maybe one more time before Christmas, maybe closer to Christmas, and. Yeah, that was about it. So I think we're probably going to have to sign off because you must be. Are you working today, Baker? You got work?
Yeah. I was going to say it's about 6:30, so I got to probably wake up the kid and start getting ready for work and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's 11:30 coming on here. I'll be leaving for work in about 45 minutes ish. Maybe I think I'll leave it an hour today. I'm starting at 1, so I'm not going to rush.
Take your time.
Until 9. So yeah, why not? So I think I'll chill, hang out with the wife for a little bit, and that's
if
about
you get
it.
there a little bit late and the boss starts giving you a hard time, you say, "Hey, I was doing a Google Hangout. Back off," and everything will be fine. But just tell them that I said it was okay for you to be late.
Yeah, and then I'll also should I show them the link and be subscribe at the same time? I don't know.
And when you show them the link, you say, "Don't you know who I am? I'm this guy."
Whoa.
Right? That's what you say. You got to say that.
Really?
I promise everything will be fine.
Okay, that's what I'll say. I'm sure I'll get called ultimate nerd. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be. Although, actually, on a quick subject before I let you go, these guys played fantasy football leagues at my work and calling me a nerd for playing board games. It's still going on. I can't remember if I mentioned it last time, but this has been over months now. And they're like,
quick question. When you say fantasy football, you're talking soccer, right?
Yes. I'll laugh at that.
Well, no, because we have fantasy football as well, and actually I'm very much involved in the league, but obviously it's American football. So I didn't know if you had some people that were playing American fantasy football because they thought it was kind of a novelty to get involved in. I don't know. Anyway.
No, definitely not. But they I mean, I'm all game for people doing it. They don't call me a nerd for playing. Okay. They were like, "Oh, what did you do last night?" And I said, "Well, me and Colin were playing Ticket to Ride Europe." They're like, "What's that?" And we're like, "Well, it's a board game about trains," which, albeit, doesn't sound very interesting and doesn't make you seem like the coolest person at work, right? But
they just need to.
Yeah, exactly. And then they said, "Oh, what a nerd!" And then another guy came around and he said, Oh, did you see how much points I scored last night after how many goals that guy? I was, oh, here we go, not again. So statistics, points. I'm going to beat you this weekend. You guys are a bunch of nerds. I was like, but in a good way.
Fight the power, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So.
We're an oppressed. We are an oppressed people. We have to fight back.
Yeah, I guess we should maybe just try and embrace rather than fight back, because when I believe like when comic books fought back, they ended up with like 50 million movies, and now everything's becoming stale, right? So,
well, yeah, that's a good point.
And now the same people that bullied you at school for liking comic books are going to the cinema and sitting next to you and watching the films. Never mind. It's enlightening.
A good bit of irony there.
But yeah, I think we should maybe sign off, let Baker go to work, let me go spend some time with the wife before we start. So, guys, you've been watching another naming program. I guess we're still not fully decided, but I think we've kind of decided.
No, I think name in progress. That's it. It's too late. It's official.
It's official. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching another vidcast and name in progress with me, Georgie, and
Baker from Board Online, Board Offline.
This is on Beers and Board Games channel. Guys, like, subscribe, go across to Baker's channel, like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Catch you guys later.
See ya.